Hey everybody, Baysinger here, and this is a disc review of the Kraken Discs Mimic. Alright, so first up, I want to talk about the brand Kraken Discs themselves. So Kraken Discs are manufactured by Kraken Dice. Now, if you're a big gamer guy or a big D&D guy, you already know who Kraken Dice is. So Kraken Dice has jumped into the disc golf game with Kraken Discs. Their first disc on the market is the Mimic, which is a putter. I want to give a huge thank you to Kraken Discs, who actually sent me 8 of their Mimic putter. Please consider following all of their social media. So the first thing I really want to talk about with Kraken Discs is the amount of different plastics they have for just having one mold on the market. The Mimic comes in a baseline plastic, which is called Dwarven. So I've noticed that the Dwarven plastic actually comes in a couple different stiffnesses. This Dwarven plastic is a little bit on the stiff side. However, these two are actually a little bit softer and have a little give to them. Next up, let's talk about the jelly plastic. So as you can see, the jelly plastic is similar to something like the Innova Champion or RPM Discs Cosmic. It is a translucent plastic, and it actually has some beautiful little sparkles in there. So these two are in the stock jelly plastic, whereas this one is actually glow jelly plastic. So there's no real grip difference or really any stiffness difference between the jelly and the jelly glow. Both of these plastics are in very grippy and somewhat pliable plastic. And last but absolutely not least, we have the cotton candy plastic, which as of me filming this video is actually an unreleased plastic. As you can see, it comes in these beautiful cotton candy-like colors. This is by far my favorite plastic of the Kraken Discs line so far. So this plastic is going to be similar to your Star Plastic from Innova or Atomic Plastic from RPM Discs. Very, very swirly, and honestly just an outstanding feel in the hand. Very grippy, somewhat pliable. Very similar in feel to the jelly plastic, but as you can see, it is an opaque plastic. Now I'll go ahead and say I'm already sold on the Mimic just based on all of these different plastic types. For a disc golf brand to just jump on the market with their first putter and have it in so many different plastic types that actually feel amazing, that's incredible. Now, in addition to these great feeling plastics, let's just go ahead and talk about this amazing stamp on here. Now, the Dwarven plastic and the jelly plastic both have the same stamp, so I'll show this one on here just because it's a little bit easier to see on this Dwarven plastic. And now the cotton candy plastic actually has a completely different Mimic stamp, which is also absolutely beautiful. So another really fun thing that I want to tell you about Kraken Discs is that you can go on their website and you can select which putter you want to buy and which plastic and what color. Now I know you're saying that's pretty normal. Yes, it is. However, they also have the option to buy blind bags. Now in these blind bags, you really don't know what you're getting, but that is so much fun to me. As I said, Kraken Discs sent me 8 of theirs and they were all in blind bags. So not only did I not know exactly which discs were coming to me, I actually got to open all of those up individually out of these blind bags. And let me tell you, it was like I was a kid on Christmas morning again. It was so much fun opening these up. If you like mystery discs and mystery boxes like that, those blind bags are an excellent way to go. I did do a live unboxing and blind bag unboxing that I will link up here in this corner, so make sure you check that out as well. One thing that I will say is that with those blind bags, as they do only have one mold on the market, you do know that you're getting the Mimic, but you don't know which plastic or which color. Now I know you're saying to yourself, we've heard about the brand, we've heard about the disc, now let's see how it flies. Well, all right, so the flight numbers on the Mimic are 2300. All right, so I've already thrown all 8 of these Mimics that you see here. And the one thing I've noticed the most is the extreme consistency. Now this is not going to be one of those putters that you're just going to absolutely mash on for max distance. With that being said, these are very glidey, but you don't want to absolutely mash on them because they will get a little bit understable if you do throw them hard. The Mimic is a touch kind of finesse throwing putter that I absolutely am loving the flight of. Throwing the Mimic just flat and straight, it really just wants to go dead straight. It will veer a little bit if you get a little touchy. Now I am an amateur disc golf player, so you will see some of that from me, but I promise that's not the design of the disc. That's just a little bit of angle release and then a little bit of grip lock sometimes on my behalf. When I felt like I got a good, clean, smooth release out of these, they honestly just flew dead straight. Which, might I say, is kind of surprising because when I threw them on hyzer, They actually flipped up and got to straight and then just stayed on that dead straight line. It seemed like throwing them flat or with hyzer that they really just wanted to get dead flat and dead straight like this and just glide forever. Now I did throw them on anhyzer just a few times, and I was honestly surprised by the fact that it just held the line. Some of them that I actually threw on anhyzer actually kind of flattened out and dropped down. Other ones that I threw actually just completely held that anhyzer line, but it never really turned completely over in fear of turning into a roller. Now I know you're probably wondering what the difference in flights are among the different plastics, and honestly, they're very consistent. Now of course the baseline dwarven plastic was a little more understable than the others, but I honestly would not say that it's flippy. So I took this stack of 8 mimics and threw them all on the same hole, a very short putter ace run hole, and I was extremely satisfied and surprised with what I got. I did throw them on a little bit of hyzer just to make sure they didn't sail long and go in the pond behind the basket. But as you can see from this grouping here, most of these discs landed extremely close to each other. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect to see a grouping of discs that close among different plastics. So as this is a putter disc review, I would not feel right if I didn't actually do some putting with these discs. Obviously, I'm not going to be putting with the premium plastics and the jelly, jelly glow, and cotton candy, but I did a lot of putting with the dwarven plastic, both the firm one as well as the 2 softer ones. Now, if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know that I prefer a softer putter. So among these 2 plastics, the softer ones are definitely my favorite. Now that's not to say that this stiffer dwarven plastic is bad. It's just a little bit stiff for my liking, but it still does have that very grippy feel to it. To me, I just really prefer being able to get my thumb down in the putter like that and have a great amount of grip, and that's exactly what you get on these. Now I didn't mention earlier, but this is a beadless putter, which is also different from how I normally putt. I usually putt in a really soft, rubbery type plastic with a bead. With that being said, these do have a really smooth release out of my hand when putting with them. All in all, am I a fan of the Mimic from Kraken Discs? I absolutely am. I'm very confident that if you get one of these discs and try it out yourself, any of the plastics to be honest, you're going to like the flight and the feel of these discs. I'm absolutely blown away that this is Kraken Discs' first disc on the market. Very, very rarely do you see a disc golf company jump on the market with a disc in so many different plastics and all of them feel great. Great feel, great flight, and amazing stamps. What's not to love? So that is going to conclude the Kraken Discs Mimic review. With that being said, this is not the only content I will film with these, so make sure you check out this Kraken Discs playlist that I'm going to put up here, and I'll have tons of Kraken Discs footage in the future. Once again, I want to give a huge thank you to Kraken Discs for sending me all of these Mimics. Please consider going to follow Kraken Discs and Kraken Dice on all of their social media. And make sure you check out the Kraken Dice website where you can get the Mimic for yourself. That is it for this disc review. Please click like, subscribe, comment, share this video with your friends, and help promote disc golf in your area.